Welcome to the North Hudson Public Works Committee meeting on Tuesday, December 18, 2018 at 5:30 p.m. Call to order. Roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee Mass.
Here.
Trustee Zeit.
And here.
All right, item number 2, approve the minutes from November 20, 2018 Public Works meeting. I need a motion and a second.
I move to approve the minutes from the November 20, 2018 Public Works meeting.
Second.
Any comments, any questions?
No corrections.
All good?
All good.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, any comments from the floor? I'm going to move item number 9 up since Kip is here. Water main replacement under Lake Malibu, discussion and possible recommendation. As I had some incomplete information when we were discussing this before, there is a timeline limit on this that the DNR has placed on Hudson.
Do we need to move to open this up for talking about it?
I'm just explaining it first.
Yeah.
on our water thing. So this is part of the discussion. So we need to relook at this instead of having it. He needs it done by 2021, December 2021. And I've talked to Kevin and Patrick about it a little bit more in length today. We believe that's doable. So what we need is probably we're going to need a motion for up to, what did I say? 200? For up to 200. We believe it'll be closer to 150 as a split, but as we don't have the planning stuff done, we just want to leave that gap in there, and we'll state that to the board as well. But really it's a board decision at this point because we've discussed it. We know what our thoughts were at the time, and because of the DNR request for 2021, we want to get that done.
Yeah, and our last motion was what, 23? I thought it was, wasn't
Yes.
it? Yep. Okay. And no motion is posted as far as any dollar amount. This is just basically you're adding that dollar amount to this motion.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need a motion from one of you two that says, approve. Let's see, it's a capital expense. So
Okay.
we had capped it for 2020, or a capital plan for 2023. We want to cap it instead for 2021. Up to 200K.
All right, I still move to replace the water main under Lake Malibu by the end of 2021, not to exceed $200,000 in coordination with the city of Hudson.
Second.
All right, any further discussion about that? You guys all understand it? Kevin, anything else I need to know?
No, I think there's definitely enough time to get everything in place so that the construction can take place in 2021. Some of the things that we're going to have to go through, since it's a joint project between the city and the village, there'll have to be like a RFP put out.
Okay.
And that'll be up, presented to SCH and us. And then we'll just have to go through that process and see truly who's going to be doing the work. But I would envision after the January board meeting, once we get approval there, that process will commence, just to keep kind of the ball rolling so that we can get everything in place.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and you talked to the city administrator, and she says, this is all within line.
Yep, I talked to her about the financing side of it, and she believed that, along with the financing that we're doing for the 35 project,
Okay.
we'll just add this project to it.
Okay.
It made sense why we were trying to get the pipes ahead of it done first, and I didn't know about the push for 2021.
Yep.
So now that we know about that, we want to get that done for you for sure, because we don't want the DNR after us or you. Do you have any comments that you want to give us, Kip?
Just to piggyback on Kevin, we already have, and I don't know how you guys work, in terms of request for proposals like Kevin had asked. We just thought it was fair since, we do have 2 engineering firms, in each municipality that we put an RFP out. I've got everything ready to go for the RFP. It's just a matter of when we want to do it. And I know 2021 sounds like a long ways away from now. It will get here fast.
Yes.
We do, and I guess, we're hoping that
Okay.
You know, we have the RFP, so then we have to pick an engineer, so that's gonna be a timing thing on when we do the engineers. You want me up there?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I wonder if the cameras can hear me anymore. No, yeah.
I forget she's back there sometimes. Is it she or he today?
So just to reiterate,
Can you, excuse me for just a second, can you identify yourself?
Kip Peters, Utility Director, City of Hudson.
Thank you.
Just to reiterate kind of what Kevin said, that we will have to put out an RFP for proposals for this project because we are separating it out of the State Highway 35 project. We think we can get better pricing on that. I have everything that we're looking for here. It's just a matter of timing when we send it out. We want it to go to both engineering firms at the exact same time. We get, you guys would get yours back from Cedar. I would get mine back from SEH. Obviously, we keep them separated until, both entities can come together and pick one. So we do have to have some sort of timeline set up to where we can meet together and pick one, because it's not fair. I don't want to send mine to Melissa and Melissa send hers to me, and you just don't want, you want everything out in the open.
Yep.
So we're going to have to coordinate that. The other thing is, obviously, once an engineer is picked, we need to figure out the whole cost sharing. I understand we're doing 50-50, but is the engineer going to bill 50% to me on what they're doing and 50% to you? Is one just going to pay for the project and then the other entity bills them? So we need all that kind of stuff worked out too. And then it's just a matter of coordination, with the entire state project that's gonna be happening. So,
Yeah.
Which will be fun.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot going on. I mean, I know what you guys are doing too. We're going to trump you.
That 35 project starts in Hudson and comes our direction?
Starts all the way from the wastewater treatment plant,
Okay.
right at the interchange,
Okay.
right at exit 1 is
Okay.
where it starts, and it's coming all the way down.
Okay.
So,
Kip, you've already got the okay from your council to move forward on this, or?
my commission,
Commission, I mean.
is all in on this
Okay.
project. We just, I've been pushing this for a long time to get rolling on this because I know this is going to take some time. It is going to, you have to, whatever engineer company is going to design this has to figure in what we're doing in Hudson, what you're doing in North Hudson, so we can actually make that connection and make everything work and fit. It is going to take, if we do it in the 2021 year, which we plan on doing all of our outside the projects, if that makes sense. You have the Highway 35 project, which is going to be bid through the state of Wisconsin. Anything outside the right-of-way, where we have things that are going to happen outside the right-of-way, that's a completely separate project from the State Highway 35 project. And then we'd have Lake Malibu Crossing project. So we're going to have like 4 projects, including yours, going on in 1 year.
Busy year.
It's going to be an extremely busy year. So, like I said, I don't know how you guys work in terms of authorization and things of that nature, but we have the RFP ready to go. We can get that out to the engineering firms whenever you guys authorize that kind of stuff. So,
I think the RFP would probably start with us, and then we pass it up to the board. Is that what we would normally do on these?
Well, we probably would need to get the village board to approve.
January 1st.
Yeah,
the
January.
motion.
I can give you copies of it today.
Then great.
The project per se.
Yeah, this is just kind of what we're looking. Basically we did this so both firms are doing the exact same thing. I don't want one firm to bid 60 hours of inspection and the other one bid 600 hours of inspection.
So an
It's just going
apples
to throw
apples,
right.
yeah.
So this will make it apples to apples.
Okay.
When they do it. So I can hand these to you guys tonight. You can take a look at them and kind of go from there.
Great. Any other questions?
Yeah, one quick question. So part of our delay, Kip, was to actively, to build out the behind the scenes of those pipings to make sure it lines up. I know that's not your concern, but the point is when you deal with this RFP, Are you including any of that in type of activity on our end for the engineering to consider some of that? I don't know. You guys already know that.
No,
I mean,
and
I'm
I
more
guess,
talking about on his.
You
end,
understand
too.
we have smaller
yeah,
pipes.
and I guess I've watched all your meetings, and I guess the misinformation that I'm seeing out there is we're bringing a 12-inch pipe from 7th Street in Hudson from our 1,000,000-gallon reservoir, okay, over this way to Lake Malibu. Now, then we're talking about the crossing under Lake Malibu. That 12-inch will give us the ability to move water back and forth, okay? You guys need the capacity here way more than we need it there. We have 1,000,000 gallons sitting right on top of 7th Street.
Sure.
The 12-inch will actually give that the ability that if you guys have a fire, if you have, if the city, we own the water towers and things, we just had one out on Lemon Street last year, I think, when we painted that. When those towers are down, your capacity is diminished, which means your fire protection is diminished, which means, your peak demand times in the summer when people are watering and showering and playing in the swimming pool and everything else, washing their cars, the peak demand at that time is diminished also. What this gives us is the ability that we can move from that 1,000,000 gallons over here. The closest tower here is the Lemon Street Tower, which is a 250,000-gallon tower. So way smaller, quarter of the size.
Right.
It would give us the ability to move water back to Hudson. But in reality, is that going to happen?
It's more coming our
It's more
direction.
coming your direction. And that has been the plan for
Okay.
ever.
Okay,
Since
great.
I've only been here 3 years, but my staff has talked about this for 15 years. And you can tell that's why the village has 12-inch all the way already down to Lake Malibu. When you guys did some roads back then and upgraded some water mains back then, that was the anticipation, that eventually Hudson's going to get theirs here, and then we just make the connection and
We're good to go.
we're good to go.
And you guys do the maintenance on the towers here too, right? So
Yes.
if Lemon ever needed maintenance, we would have.
Let's hope it doesn't. We just spent $400,000 on it.
We've never had to use this activity since it started.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. There isn't like a light on the pipe that says, hey, water is coming this way or water is going that. We have no way to tell what way it's going. They are connected. I would almost guarantee that when Lemon Street was down for 4 or 5 months, whatever that was last summer, when it was being repainted, we were moving water through that 4-inch. It's not a lot.
I thought we had valves on that.
Yeah, but they're
open.
verified that they're open.
Yeah, they were verified that they're
Yeah.
open. So I guarantee you, we were moving water through that 4-inch over here.
Well, that's news. That's good.
Okay.
And Summit's going to have to be repainted one of these years. So the need is there.
Okay.
It's definitely there. Even regardless of what the DNR says, the need is there for this project. And
Okay.
it was there way before I got here, way before probably any of you guys were here either. So
Yeah.
well, it was all planned for years and years ago.
Okay.
It's just we're finally coming to the point where it's time to do it.
You're keeping an eye on us.
We have to do it.
Well,
Good
this will
deal.
go to the January board.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll get
So
voted in
that's-
January.
Okay.
First Tuesday of January, we'll vote this as a go, and then you just need to get going on the RFP.
Right, because I mean, yeah, at this point, if you guys need a vote to get an RFP, that's fine. RFP doesn't cost anything. I can give Kevin this sheet.
No, I think we only need to vote on that 200,000, so we know we've got
Yeah,
the.
cap.
Okay,
That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my cost estimate's coming in at 321.
Okay.
That's all in.
All in.
That's including a 4% inflation on the project, just because it is out, 2 more years. 20% contingency, which is a little high, but that's what we always do. And then 20% admin, engineering, and legal.
Okay.
So, you can figure that 321 or thereabouts, it should be pretty close.
Okay.
So
For that.
Or down the
ballpark.
So,
All right.
all right, anything else?
No, thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it. Did we vote on that?
Nope.
Nope, not yet.
Do you want Kevin to see this?
Yeah, you can let Kevin have it. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I think
You've probably seen
Yeah, I think Melissa forwarded over.
All right, no further discussion. It's a spending issue, right?
Yep.
So we do it that way. All right, Mr. Matz?
Yes.
Mr. Zeiss?
Yes.
Yes. All right, that is passed.
Sure.
Sure.
Since this is a joint project, you're probably gonna wanna set one or two people up as the point person on this.
Okay.
I guess just for meetings and different things, because we are gonna have to talk about this. You know, like I said, the finance is gonna be a big thing on who pays for what,
Yep.
how that all gets billed, so.
No,
Okay.
We can place this back on the agenda next time and discuss that.
Okay. All right.
Just makes it easier for contacting everybody.
Yep, good.
All right. Put that on our future agenda. All right. Okay. Thank you. Item number 4, 204 Helen Street North Sanitary Sewer Service discussion only. Patrick.
That is 204 Helen Street is the sanitary sewer service that we were trying to hook up. I believe everything is all hooked up. There's just putting things back together now.
This is the guy that was above.
Yeah, so you found it underneath that,
We had video, so we
Yeah.
were able to they were able to use the video and find the why. This is the one on the with the big retaining wall.
yep,
so it's-
that's what I thought. So what did you go, you actually had to break ground, go in and get it, or I mean,
Yeah, we had to go between the back of the curb and the front of the wall, take out a couple of sidewalk panels,
okay,
and then physically go down and we did a directional bore from
Thank you.
up above, up by the house, and then directional drilled all the down towards where the open pit was between the face of the wall and the back of the curb.
wow. So he's happy.
He's hooked up.
Yeah, they're
And he's
very,
hooked up, right?
very
Hooked
happy.
up, right? Yep.
Oh, that's a nice Christmas gift, huh?
Yes.
Before,
Yeah. So
thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys.
Yep. Good.
Any other questions for him about
No,
that
that's
one?
good news.
All right, item number 5, street sweeping contract for village streets. We are going to put that one on the table because we don't have a quote yet,
Well, I have a verbal, but I don't have.
a written quote for us.
Written, yeah.
So we'll pick that up. That's future agenda item.
Yep.
Item number 6, tree stump removal contract for the village, discussion and possible recommendation. Patrick?
Sorry.
Do you guys got a sheet on this?
That's all right. We can work off of.
I spoke with the representative from St. Croix Save a Tree. The village's current contract with them would stay the same, with the exception of the tree removal, which would increase by $10 a tree. And you should have a copy of the current contract, and then I
Yep, it's on the web.
Yep.
added the $10 and what that amount would be.
We've really been with these guys since 1985.
What's that?
They were called St. Croix Tree back in the
Sacred
day.
tree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been using them for a while.
Was it
I did talk to them. They're now called St. Croix Save a Tree. I did talk to Patrick about, next, these are 2-year
Yes,
contracts?
yes.
The next go around, we're gonna shoot for some more quotes, but since I have used these guys in my own yard and I know what they charge me, this price is pretty low compared to what they've been charging me for a tree, so. They have done a good job,
Yeah, they do great work.
no complaints.
They're always they clean everything up.
No village complaints either, no
I haven't-
residents,
I
I mean,
haven't had a complaint yet. No,
Good.
I keep calling them the village people, but I
and
mean,
they're always
Yeah,
they're my contact. Scott is always great to work with. So it just it's like some of the other or people that we work with. They're very accommodating for us.
Good.
any questions?
Nope.
We need a motion in a second.
Recommend the Village of North Hudson renew the tree stump removal contract with St. Croix Save a Tree with a small increase of $10 per tree.
I'll second that.
I'm just trying to think if we should have the years added on there. Do we need the years added on there, on that motion?
Or based off the contract.
That's for
which is
based
2 year.
off the contract,
Yeah.
okay. All right, any discussion? And it is a spending issue. Tim?
Yes.
Phil?
Yes.
Brian? Yes. All right. Item number 7, snow plowing concerns at Kirkwood Way North, discussion only. I'll let you do this one.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys would want this. I didn't put it on there. I have some, I spoke with Kevin.
Thank you.
We discussed it. It's
Which lot?
well, what I don't know if the lot is on here. Let's see. It'd be the one on the east side.
Above Highland Circle?
No, it's in Highland Circle.
It's in Highland Circle.
Yeah, it's that cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So, been talking with Kevin. This has a 60-foot radius. So we went out and there's actually a manhole right in the middle of the cul-de-sac. So we went out with a tape measure and took paint and went all the way around. I took pictures of it, so we know where the right-of-way is at. The resident was concerned that we were piling snow on their property. Right now, there is the snow is piled. I mean, we got to put it someplace, and there's obviously not a whole lot left. So we had all of 3 inches, 4 inches that first snow. So there was a couple of piles, but they were all well within the right of way.
How wide is the right-of-way going off the curb? How many feet from the curb to the end of the right-of-way?
Usually it's like a 45 foot radius typically on that, so about 15 feet.
Is that true on all roads?
No,
Not all roads.
What
it's
are-
not all roads.
What's the average on our roads? Just a curiosity question. Is it about 20 feet?
It all depends on the right of way. I mean, the village has so many different right of way
I've
widths.
got a map in the back.
Yeah.
We can't give you a. I mean, I can't give you a answer.
Okay.
To that.
10,
in that
15
case, it's
feet.
about 40 feet off the curb?
No, not off the curb. No.
No.
Like
It'd be by
15
about 15 feet.
15 feet. And so you're putting snow in that 15-foot right-of-way, and the resident's concern is that he's taking care of that 15 feet and you're messing it up?
Yeah.
So is that pile on any one of these lots, 9, 10, or 11?
No, he's up in the cul-de-sac.
He's up, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, where are you piling snow? Off to the right, left, north? No, I mean, because
Well, okay.
I mean, I live in a cul-de-sac. I know where you're piling ours. Ours is
Yeah.
fine.
So
I mean, it's absolutely where you guys perform that activity.
So it would be over.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. See that?
Way to the right?
Way to the right, right
Okay.
there. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and so in your discussion with this resident, did you explain the right-of-way?
I did, and went up and made. We made marks in the snow. We didn't make any kind of permanent marks or anything like that. And we were. I have pictures. We were well within the right of way. His concern was that we were, torn up grass. That does happen, and it not just at that place, but we also have a list in the spring. We generally go out and try to repair most of those. Do our best, flatten them out, throw grass seed down, black dirt, whatever. So I don't believe we're doing anything wrong. I just wanted to make it. It just seemed to be getting to be a big deal, so I wanted to make.
Is that the only? Because I know it's in our cul-de-sac, which I appreciate it, because sometimes you put it on my lawn, sometimes you put the Assembly Road, and then that once you kind of balance it out if it gets too high.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to do that here? And
We
can
do.
you do it here?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Or I mean, in some of the cul-de-sacs, like I say, it depends on the year. Like last year we had those great big snows and stuff.
Right.
Then yeah, we got to haul some of it out of there.
True. Yeah.
I don't
Or
like
put
to
it on
do
both
that.
sides of the cul-de-sac like we do ours.
Yeah, we'll spread it around. I mean, that's what the right of way is for. Is
Right.
that we got to put the snow somewhere, because it gets to be that double-edged sword where You know, I got people calling, well, why isn't my cul-de-sac done, or why isn't my street done? Well, that's because I'm over at Joe's moving all the snow down to the stock, you know, to the shop yards because I can't pile it. You know, that's not an acceptable response, I don't think, for a taxpaying citizen. So we have to put it somewhere.
Right.
And we do try to do our best not to wreck stuff, tear things up.
That just creates more work for you in the
Yeah,
spring.
because then that's springtime. Then we got, you know, way too much stuff to do with that, and it takes up time. So I try not to do that. The guys have actually been doing a really good job of, you know, we got to push it a little bit past the curb. You know, if we push up a pile, we'll push it up a little ways, you know, so that we've got room for the next snowfall or whatever. But
What are you using to push up there? You using a Bobcat
no, we generally use a pickup in that one.
pickup? Okay, so you
We'll use
this
both.
and you do that.
Yeah, we lift up, get to the curb, you lift up, and then push it, and then it's, you know, that's this far above the grass.
That's
So,
why it's okay. That's why you might scrape though once.
I
in a
mean,
while.
we're not. It's possible, yes.
Right.
I mean, and it happens
I was just trying to think that through.
because
one day.
sometimes you know, when you go up onto a curb, some of them go like this, you know, the grass or the landscape.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay.
you'll hit it or whatever, but there's not that issue there.
Okay. All right. So is the resident satisfied having seen the right of way?
It doesn't. Well, I think you guys were sent the emails and stuff. They're not. They wouldn't be on
No, it'd be in our
public record. I
individual
think you
email
just
box.
received emails.
Is he anticipating a response? I mean, if Brian, do we have to respond to the email?
I don't. I guess I don't believe he's anticipating a response. It was.
He's certainly welcome to come to this board and talk about it. to
Yeah,
us,
that's kind of why. I mean,
I would
in
encourage
my
him, yeah.
response, I stated that we had the meeting tonight and that he could, you know, voice his concerns and stuff like that. That we weren't. I kind of was led to believe that maybe the resident felt like they were being singled out and
No.
stuff. And we don't have enough time to single people out. That's not how we operate.
Well, good. Thank you for bringing it. So if he does come, we can be prepared.
So
Yeah,
he,
I mean,
he was invited. Then you're saying.
Yes.
Good.
It does look like there's a response necessary.
Okay, well, I'll have you do that then.
I would like more information regarding my rights as a property owner as it pertains to what I can use that portion of my property that falls within the 60-foot radius of the center of the cul-de-sac. Am I restricted from putting out buildings on my property, improving it with a fence, parking vehicles, etc.?
That's not. I mean, that's not part of our snow removal. Is what we're discussing now. He'd have to contact the building inspector for that. Parking cars, I guess he'd have to talk to the police chief.
All I'm saying is those all can be answered by Melissa.
Yeah.
Is Melissa responding? Are you responding? Because it was sent to both of you.
We can respond to that. Yes.
Okay, please respond to that.
Yep.
And if there's more to go, bring it up at next meeting, and again, re-invite them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
please encourage him. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
No, discussion only.
Okay, I had forgotten everything that was in that message. All right, item number 8, stormwater maintenance agreement with quick trip discussion and recommendation. Patrick, you want to explain or
It's kind of Kevin's thing.
Yeah, I guess I can
Kevin?
step in. Sure. So I got a copy of the long-term stormwater maintenance agreement. Again, this is for the Quick Trip development up by North End Road. This is in regards to not only their improvements on their lot, but the other item, like we talked about at the last Public Works meeting, there's going to be a change in some of the storm sewer along the eastern side of the right-of-way in the state DOT's right-of-way there. They're going to fill in the ditch per se and then actually put a storm sewer pipe in. And that's under the permanent components of the stormwater system, the last item there. So they're basically going to, if there's any maintenance, they're going to do, semi-annual inspections of that. And if there's any sedimentation or any repairs that need to take place, they are taking that responsibility over through this document. So this will be something that's executed, signed off by Quick Trip, and then this will be presented to the village for record. I don't necessarily think we need to do any motions in regards to this. It's just more of informational for the Public Works members, and just to let them know for future reference that, you know, they are going to be responsible for the storm sewer in the right of way. So.
Yeah, you brought that up in the board meeting, I think, last time, didn't you? And we talked about, is there...
Talked about it here, too.
Oh, we talked
Yeah.
about here. I apologize. It was here.
Yep.
There's nothing we have to put in to make sure that they're maintaining it, or, I mean, that the agreement's probably in there, but I mean, there's nothing...
It says,
Yeah. And
Okay.
then if they neglect on, you know, doing the
Yeah.
required maintenance out there, then the village has the right to special assess and put that onto their tax bill.
okay, so I really don't want to give the maintenance of this over to them. I'd rather they pay us. If they're going to pay someone else, they might as well pay us. We're probably cheaper anyway. Because when I got on here, we found all these little special agreements I kept running into
Yeah.
from 1970, 1980. It's like this agreement, you know, with the water.
Sure. Yeah.
Somewhere down the, we are responsible for every other storm sewer in the village, right?
Yeah, if it's within the street right away, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, the village's
Including-
responsibility.
That right away on 35? Are we responsible for that?
Or is that a state law?
Or is that state?
State.
Because
I
if
don't know if
it's
that's
state,
been
should
real-
we, if it's state, should we even be doing this?
I don't know if there's really an agreement on the state right away in the past.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a
so
little
that's
bit.
number one, but if it's been our responsibility, I'd rather keep it as our responsibility. If they're gonna pay someone else to do it,
Yeah.
I'd rather keep it simple, that any storm sewer in the village, if that's the way it works on 35, that is, we just maintain that it's our responsibility. They can pay us a little extra to maintain that,
Yeah.
whatever they were gonna pay whoever.
Mhm.
I mean, these are just my thoughts.
Well, doesn't that agreement kind of say that there? Am I reading that wrong?
At
It
the
says-
end, it says if they don't do it, we can take it over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see.
you can special assess them.
But
Or
here's
to inspect and maintain all components of the stormwater system, Village of North Hudson.
But that's our responsibility already. So why would we give somebody else a responsibility for a short section of our storm? So that's just my first opinion.
Well, yeah, I know. Why are you hesitating on that comment? I mean,
Well, I mean, we can definitely, typically it is done that way where the village kind of takes care of all that.
Yeah, this is unique to me.
It is a little unique. It
Okay.
definitely
One
is.
other thing, Kevin, the diddle, when that goes in, is it gonna be in this very same area, basically, on the 35 project?
Yeah, it
So they
is.
would have had to expand the width of the road anyway, and we would have run into this with the diddle?
Yeah, there's some more information that I was going to present tonight on. And we could do that under engineer's report or whatever, but.
Sure.
So they, you know, remember how there was some safety money that was applied for through the DOT?
Right.
Well, we just got notification here last week that they were successful in acquiring that.
Really?
So it's not only in front of Quick Trip, but that stretch from Summers to North End Road is going to be widened out, and you're going to have a twiddle lane in the middle.
It's
there.
a twiddle?
Twiddle, yeah.
Okay, I call it a diddle. Twiddle diddle. So that storm sewer was gonna need to happen anyway with the 35 project.
Yeah, especially with the, you know, what was announced here last week. That, you know, they're going to widen everything to the east side of the road, which in turn is going to have to be, the ditch is going to have to be filled in.
This way.
Yeah.
East, this way?
This way.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this side of it. So the ditch is going to be filled in, and they're going to have to put storm sewer and all that good stuff.
Just from Summers.
Summers, and then that's going to go all the way across Quick Trip's parcel also. Because they're going to have to fill that ditch in because they're widening the road out again on the eastern side.
Is that gonna mess with the parking in any of
Oh,
our?
does this affect now our businesses? No.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
Because we had, we had
Is
that
there enough
session.
ditch?
Yeah, the right of way is fairly wide in that particular
Yeah.
area, so.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, there's definitely
You're
room
right.
to accommodate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, so you guys understand my
I agree. I totally agree with you
objection
saying.
to get, I just don't, I think, I worry about things where
confuse.
down the road, years down the
Somebody
road,
else is
people
here.
forget why that special agreement is in place.
Sure.
It's like trying to figure out that
Yeah, there's
surcharge.
not much change. Change the agreement and basically state that we will maintain it. I mean,
But
Yeah,
should
we
we,
would-
should we ask them for anything for this?
I don't know.
I don't know what to do about
I
that.
don't know about that.
I mean, we can have that last bullet item scratched from the maintenance agreement, and it's truly gonna be only on their parcel.
That one piece?
Yep. Because they're obviously still gonna be required for anything on their private property.
Property, yeah.
you
Just
know.
like we do a restaurant or any other business, we are, you know, they're responsible to keep the line
Yep,
clean to it.
right.
The storm sewer too?
Storm sewer, well, I was thinking,
If it's
you
on
were-
private,
Okay.
yeah, it would be their responsibility. But yeah, they're not gonna have any issues with just striking that out of a.
which
out of
part are
this
you
agreement.
striking out?
So under that permanent components of the stormwater system, the
Yep.
last bullet,
Storm sewer?
sewer system west of Quick Trip, located in the Wisconsin DOT right of way.
West of Quick. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I just don't want 10 years down the road, Quick Trip's gone, somebody else is in there, they don't know about the agreement, you know, boards have changed and nobody remembers what's going on.
Right.
If it's always the village's
Yep.
public works department that's responsible, it seemed like that makes it easier for people going forward to not lose track of things like this.
We can definitely do that.
So that's all you need to do is strike that one bullet?
Yeah, that would be the only thing that we'd have to revise on this document then.
And again, you just bring it for our own notifying us or letting us know. There's nothing we have to do vote on here, basically. No.
Nope, I'll contact Quick Trip and let them know what the discussions were here tonight.
My only concern is since they were willing to pay something to have this done, is the board
Yeah,
going to say?
I don't know how you.
I don't know how you do that either.
Yeah, that would be.
You should never mention it. All right, so at the board meeting, this is just an informational item that'll come up from you?
Unless you want to, I mean, it's
I don't
just
wanna.
discussed at the Public Works meeting, and, I mean, there's really no action item that the village board needs to do on the agreement. Unless you just want to share it as informational only, as under the,
All right, well, if the notes are clear, I might pick up on if the minutes are clear over there.
What's that?
If the minutes are clear and I see that, I usually take a quick look at them right before the meeting to see if there's anything that I really want to mention in my chair comments. So maybe you could bold that piece. All right, any other comments, questions?
I have nothing, but I agree with you.
Anything else, guys?
If something is wrong and has to be repaired, we're gonna take ownership of that.
Unless it is truly the county's responsibility to handle the stuff on 35. And you, by the way, by the next meeting, it would be nice to know for sure.
yeah, we can look into that.
Y-
Yeah.
You guys have taken care of 35 already, haven't you, in a few occasions?
Just clean things out, I guess, yeah.
Maintaining certain
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
Could we get a for sure answer on that? Could you,
I can
Yeah,
try.
we can
I
look
don't-
into that.
You probably know better who to ask than I do.
right?
Yeah, I can check it.
I always get real.
And would you send an email to Public Works?
Sure.
Let us know how
Sure.
that comes out, and then I guess we can decide whether it needs to be on a future
Just
agenda.
another
item.
comment you could add to your update to the board if you have to.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good. All right, thank you, guys. Item number 9, we took care of. Item 10, salt storage building discussion only. Patrick?
As we know, it's done. Nathan isn't done with everything, but we believe the final number came in at $60,000, $60,083.77.
And we were budgeted for
65
66.
or
I
66,
remember
something like that.
66.
Mm-hmm.
So we came in under budget.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice job.
Okay, and any other questions for him about salt shed?
Nope.
So that comes off the next agenda. Item number 11, chair update. I just want to wish everybody happy and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
In the village, and if you haven't seen the manger scene out front here, you should come by and take a look at it. I think it looks nice. Item number 12, engineers report.
Just to expand a little bit more on the safety money that was acquired from all the feds that's going to be transferred to the DOT. So that's going to be from Summers up to North End Road, and as of now, it looks like that's going to be constructed the same time that Highway 35 is going to be done in 2021.
Nice.
Nice.
So,
By safety money, you mean in terms of having those left turn lanes or the twiddle lane?
Is this what the chief initially brought up and proposed way back when?
This doesn't have to do with the kids getting
No,
to
not the
school.
kid. No,
no, not
this
the
is
safe
completely
route to
different.
school
Okay.
or anything like that. Apparently, there was 9 crashes that took place
Okay.
from 2013 to 2017.
Separate individual study that was performed on.
The DOT initiated
DOT did?
all that
Okay.
stuff.
In that strip.
Yeah,
Really?
Wow.
I did not know that.
yeah. So that's the reasoning why they approached.
How much is it?
I think they had. I seen an estimate in there. It was like 250 to 300,000
Nice.
for
Nice.
that work. So and there's
Sweet.
confirmed that truly, the village is doesn't have to cost share any of that.
Are they
So
putting sidewalks on both sides?
no sidewalk proposed.
Crosswalks?
Well, Quick Trip's putting the crosswalk across, right?
Yeah, yep. It's part of their improvements.
That's part of their improvement. So this isn't part of the safety. The whole safety thing is just the widening.
Yep. So you can, people can, for left turn lanes, they can get out of the travel lanes and provide some safety.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole thing is like the twiddle lane is what you're talking about.
Correct.
Is storm sewer, water, anything like that being affected?
No, other than there'll be curb and gutter that'll be installed on the eastern side, and then the ditches will be filled in, and then storm sewer will be installed.
We just need to figure out who's responsible for the storm sewer.
Yes.
And you're going to do that. Okay.
Very good.
Any other
Right.
thoughts, guys?
No.
Great. I'm glad. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Anything else from you?
That's all I have.
Okay. Item 13, Director's Report. Patrick.
Riverside is done. The duplex station, that's all done. Everything's new in there and up and running.
I don't know if they know what you ran into and why. They worked on it in 2 separate periods of time. Were you guys familiar with that and why?
We started on it the week that it was so blasted cold, and then in the process of going into the vault where the gate valves and the check valves are, that took a lot longer. They were really rusty, and it was a struggle, pain. So we finished that up at like 2:00 that day, and then we had decided that it was kind of a mutual thing that we'd try it again the next Tuesday. So they came back. We got all the old stuff out, put the new in. We ended up we got one pump running and the other pump wouldn't run, so I had to call an electrician to come out. And it was just an electrical component that was
Capacitor?
it was a capacitor, a run capacitor that we replaced. $20. So
Cool.
everything is up and running on that, and
Can you tell them about the valves? What you learned about the valves?
oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
This is
Yeah,
good.
so the check valves, which is a one-way valve, with the pressure on it, the valve opens, and then when it comes back, it closes. Those weren't working properly. So now what we found in the run times is that those are cut in half.
Oh, wow.
So the pumps aren't having to work. So you guys get it, the tank fills up,
Yep.
valve opens up, and it pushes the stuff, which is pretty much uphill from that station, right?
For quite a ways.
Yeah.
So then it gets
Horsepower.
down low enough, It says shut the valve wasn't shutting,
No.
not all the way.
No.
Did I have that wrong?
The valve doesn't open itself. When the pump turns on,
Okay,
the pressure of the pump opens that valve. It's spring loaded.
okay.
So it pushes the water through, the pump shuts off, and then the valve slaps shut.
And did it?
And it wasn't.
It
Not
wasn't
all the
slapping
way.
shut.
Yeah.
So it's just backfilling.
So
Yeah.
that it was like repumping.
We're pumping it back
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So those motors were getting a little double time.
Yeah. So
We don't know for how long, but now Patrick is putting these valves on a regular schedule to what?
Well,
exercise?
I'm trying to figure out how to, with a check
Exercise it.
valve, I don't know how we can exercise it, but I'm trying to figure out a way that we can maybe keep a little closer eye on that.
To make sure they're functional.
Sure.
Which now down there, we know what the runtime should be because it's obviously changed drastically, so we'll just keep an eye on that, and if the runtimes start getting out of hand, we'll know that maybe that's one thing that we should check.
Yep.
So our motor should last longer.
We hope, yep.
So that leaves us
Nice.
down to one lift station that needs East Bank.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that future agenda item that's going to come up sometime early next year
Yep.
to get the ball rolling on what it's going to take to do it, how old it is, blah, blah, blah. Right? You guys want to, because then we will have done the 3 major lift stations that
Yep.
we have to deal with and worry about failing.
Yep.
And East Bank is, as you guys know, Galahad
Yep.
territory. Probably used less in the summer
Right.
than most. We've got some snowbirds down there. Anything else from the director on his director's report?
I have a list of kind of the stuff that we did this year. I don't know if you want to hear that all tonight or if you want me to put something official together. I just kind of jotted.
I would key it up and put it in a document. That's we can, and I can
Down.
store it and save it instead of writing it all down. But
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then
it'd be
I'll-
nice to
It would
have
be
it
nice
as a
here.
report like we
Yeah.
did last year.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I know you had said that you wanted something this month, and I had forgotten about it, so I
That's right.
jotted everything down.
Just an email
quick,
to us is all we need,
Next
Ken.
week
Yeah.
I can, or next
Next meeting.
next meeting, I'll make it into a document so that you guys can see what we've done throughout the
Yeah.
year.
And then we'll
I appreciate that.
And then we'll present that in our February board meeting, essentially.
Good,
These
yeah.
are the things we've done. And if you guys, after you see his report, if you think of something that we might have missed, let's get it on there. And that includes stuff, you're working with Kevin on that, right?
Yep, I
So
will,
we're
yep.
getting both of what you
Sure.
guys have done.
Oh, and then before I forget, we got the new tires on the skid steer today.
New
so-
tires on the skid steer today?
Yeah.
That's good.
Good.
So, those are
Sweet.
done.
All right, item 14, Public Works Capital Equipment Planning Discussion only. You guys have any thoughts about capital equipment that, or capital? Well, obviously, we've got this 2021
Yeah.
deal capital-wise that we're asking for 200 as we send it up to the board and know that we're gonna, what did he say the split was? I mean,
50.
50.
50-50 on 360 was he at, or 330?
He had 321.
Three,
I
yeah.
think.
21?
Low 3. Yeah.
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 So about 160.
Which what we thought initially. Thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, I guess that's getting taken care of in the next meeting, so, because we're gonna present that to the board.
Yep.
Any equipment, how's the equipment working otherwise? Everything's going good?
Everything's going pretty good. We'll probably end up talking about some plow stuff. I'm finding that the plows, the Boss plows that we have on the fronts of the pickups obviously aren't. They're holding up, but I don't know that how long they'll last because they're not really designed to plow a city street. So might have to look into some other options or something like that. But it's something I'll bring up in the future. I'll see what they look like this year. The one of them that we had was fairly new, and it after last year. Of course, we had kind of a rough end to last year, but they look like they've been used. So
Okay, so maintenance-wise, are you having to put any money into them?
no, not yet. No.
Okay.
I don't want it to get to that point where we're dumping a bunch of money into things. So I kind of wanted to bring it up now so that you
Sure.
guys are aware of it, and I'll do a little more research on it and
And
see
then,
if there are things we can do differently.
We have a truck next year in the budget?
Pick up, yeah.
It's
Pickup.
gonna be a pickup?
Mhm.
Okay, and we're getting rid of one, we're doing the
Mhm.
swap?
Already sold.
swap.
Yeah.
And does this truck right now have a plow on it?
Yeah, but we can't use it. It's, the plow is shot. It's,
Are you planning on putting a plow on the new truck?
No.
Not planning on doing that, okay. And the new plow, the big one, doing great?
Great, yeah, no issues there.
We doing regular maintenance?
Mm-hmm.
Following their maintenance that they suggest, okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion about that stuff? Item 15, any future goal or agenda items from you guys? How's my, Riverside wall doing down there?
I actually just took some measurements down there. Seemed we're hanging in there.
Okay. I'm really hoping somebody comes up with some neat way to make that wall last longer down the road. I mean, there was a
Yes,
point
it
where you
is.
talked about you could put stuff in front of it. There's stuff you could spray on it. I don't, someday we should get a list of those things together and what it's going to cost and what we think the best way is to make that wall either last as long as possible or reinforce it so it's not going to come tumbling down. And we're going to be faced with, how much would it cost to replace a wall like that ballpark?
Probably 200,000-300,000.
Okay.
They're quite expensive. Yeah.
And the newer ones that are out now are better, right?
They are. I mean, they had some issues. There was a period of time with the salt along the block. That's why you're seeing a lot of that stuff deteriorating out there.
That was when the International was throwing it because they were going uphill.
Yep.
Yeah. They've made quite a bit of improvement on that,
Okay.
especially Versalock. So just because of that issue.
Are those Versalock?
No, they're not Versalock.
Okay.
Nope.
All right, well, somewhere before the end of next year, I want to put something in our capital plan, even if it's 7 years out instead of 5 years, just to get it out there to remind people this is an expense that someday's coming,
Yeah.
and just some options on how to do it. I leave that in your hands, sir.
Sounds good.
All right, with that, nothing else?
That's it.
With that, item 16, we are adjourned at 6:22 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, and
Yeah,
have a Merry
thank you.
Christmas.
You too.